Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees who have assembled for today's session. Today we will discuss based on a sloka from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam as announced. So this is from the 8th chapter of 10th canto that describes the naughty butter stealing activities of Lord Krishna and how the gopis of Vrindavan, who were apparently angry at Krishna's naughty pranks, came to Mother Yashoda and complained. So the shloka goes like this. Vatsan munchan kvachida sabaye krosha sanjataha saha steyam svadyatyathidadhipaya kalpitaih steya yogaih markan bhokshyan vibhajati sachennati bhandam bhinate dravyalabhe sagraha kupito yatyupakrishya tokan. The context of this shloka is that because Krishna, although he was just a very young boy, he was going to different homes in Vrindavan and stealing butter from all the gopis' houses. And sometimes, or many times, Krishna is also accompanied by his dear friends. And sometimes some monkeys also accompany Krishna in his stealing activities. So Krishna would go to all these gopis' houses with all his associates and would create a lot of mischief there. He would create a lot of disturbance there. So apparently all the gopis of Vrindavan are angry with Krishna. But actually they are not angry. They're happy. So within their hearts, they were rejoicing that, oh, Krishna is lovingly coming to our homes to steal our butter. Wow, it's our great fortune. Internally, they're feeling that fortune. And when they witnessed Krishna stealing pastimes, they were joyful, they were happy. And they go to other gopis and narrate how Krishna came to their home and then stole butter and ghee, yogurt, etc. But one day, they all thought that Krishna is coming to our homes and stealing butter. And we're discussing all these butter stealing pastimes of Krishna amongst ourselves. But Mother Yashoda is deprived of this good fortune of hearing Krishna stealing pastimes. Because naturally, Krishna wouldn't steal in Mother Yashoda's house. That is his own home. Why should he steal? These innocent gopis thought that Krishna doesn't steal in his own home. But they don't know that Krishna steals in Mother Yashoda's home also. Basically, he likes stealing. But these gopis thought that Yashoda Mata does not have the good fortune of hearing or witnessing all these butter stealing activities of Krishna. Let us go and narrate all of them, but in the form of complaints. So these are complaints of love, loving complaints. So the gopis would go to Mother Yashoda and they would launch complaints against Krishna, and Yashoda Mata would hear them. So this shloka that we have just recited is one of those such beautiful shlokas that the gopis have spoken in front of Mother Yashoda while complaining against Krishna. Okay, so let's read this shloka and understand how much depth is there in this one shloka. I think we may spend the entire class just discussing this one shloka, one complaint shloka. Vatsan munchan kvachida samaye krosha sanjataha saha. Anyone would like to recite like in our traditional style? If you want, you can recite, you can raise your hands. If that is not possible, then it's fine. Vatsan munchan kvachida samaye krosha sanjataha saha. So the gopis were saying to Mother Yashoda, Vatsa means calves. Munchan means Krishna would release the calves. Kvachid asamaye. Asamaye means at wrong times. Kvachid means at any time Krishna would come to our homes and he would release the calves. What does it mean? What is this specific asamaye refer to? Basically, the gopis were saying that generally the cows give their milk at certain times, morning time, evening time. And before the calf drinks the milk of the cows, the cowherd men would go and milk the cows. Okay. And when the cowherd men milk the cows and some milk is extracted, remaining milk is taken by the calves. That's the general system. Because in the cow's udder, there is more milk than it is required for the calf to survive. So therefore, the cowherd men take away some milk and remaining milk is left for the calf, which is sufficient for its survival. Not that they are depriving the calf from its quota of milk. So they will never violate the Ishavasya principle. As you know, in Isopanishad, it is said that Ishavasyamadam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyektena bhunjita magridaha kasyas vidhanam. So according to Ishavasya principle in Isopanishad, one has to accept only that much quota, that many resources or facilities that are set aside for oneself, and one should not encroach upon someone else's properties, right? So similarly, the gopas also, all the gopas and gopis, they would milk the cows and take that much quota which is required for their maintenance without encroaching upon the quota of milk that is meant for the calf, right? So because generally cow has more milk than the calf requires. So now if the calf is released before time, before the cowherd men milk the calf, if the calf is, before the cowherd men will milk the cow, if the calf is released, then the calf would drink all the milk and the cowherd men will not get any milk. And on top of it, it's not good for the calf also to drink so much milk, right? So when Krishna comes and releases the calves, he releases the calves at wrong times. Vatsan munchan means Krishna comes to our houses and releases the calves. Yashoda Mata says, what's the fault in this? He cares for the calves. Maybe you must have forgotten to release the calves. So my dear, Krishna is coming to your house and releasing your calves and helping you, assisting you, serving you. You should be happy with it. Then the gopis said, yeah, he releases the calves, but our problem is kvachid asamaye. He releases the calves at wrong times. And what is that wrong time? When it is not the milking time, right? So milking time is generally morning, evening, they milk. They don't milk the cow throughout the day. So, but some milking has to be done before the calf drinks. But Krishna comes and releases the calves at any time, and the calf will naturally drink all the milk. And when the cowherd men go to milk the cows, there is no milk. So Yashoda Mata said, oh, Krishna is just a small boy, small child. He must have done it out of ignorance, right? Because he's very young, very small. He's hardly 2-3 years old, maybe. So he releases the calves out of ignorance. So there are so many people in your house. Why don't you prevent it? You should prevent it. You should stop him doing it. Then the gopis said that, no, this boy comes when we are extremely busy in our household activities. So when we are so busy, that's the time he would come and release his calves. Then Yashoda Mata would say, if you are so busy, you can always glance at Krishna and then frighten him. Hey, don't do that. If you say like that, then Krishna will stop. Then the gopis very lovingly say the next word, Krosha sanjataha saha. Till now, what did they say? Vatsan munchan kvachida samaye Means Krishna comes to our homes at wrong times and releases our calves. And Yashodamata said, why don't you frighten him? Right? Then the gopis say, Krosha Sanjata Hasaha. When we become angry at him, when we frighten him, Krosha means anger. So when we show some anger, Krosha Sanjata, then what does Krishna do? Hasaha, he would just smile. Right? So we try to threaten him, frighten him, and he would just smile. So we tell him, we tell our other people, catch him, tie him up, beat him. We say that. But he merely smiles. And when he smiles, we are completely intoxicated by that beautiful smile of Krishna, and we just helplessly watch him doing his naughty activity or dirty work of releasing the calves and doing many other things. Then Yashodamata says, she asks a very logical question. So why in the first place Krishna releases the calves? Why he has to come and release the calf? Then the gopis give a reply. They say that steyam svadyathyati dadipayaham. Steyam, to steal. What exactly is Krishna's plan? He comes and releases the calves at wrong times and smiles at the people of the home when they become angry with him. For what? For mainly this purpose, steyam, to steal. What does he steal? Swad, athi, atha, dadi, payah. Dadi is yogurt. Paya means milk. Swadu means very tasty. So Krishna's main intention is to drink milk, to drink yogurt. So he would laugh at the gopis and he would run into the home. So, and the gopis now, when they're complaining to Mother Yashoda, they're imitating Krishna's answer, right? So Krishna is releasing the calves saying, I want to drink milk. So they describe. So when Krishna releases the calves, naturally, all the members of the home would run behind the calf to stop the calf, to go towards the mother. And when people are running here and there to catch the calf, Krishna would run into the home. Right? And he steals whatever we need, whatever he needs. Right? So he likes to steal. Steyam athi atha. Swad means very tasty milk. Dadhipayaha, tasty milk and curd. So he would eat all our tasty milk products. So we are unable to do anything. We are helplessly running behind the calf and he's running into the home and is stealing. Right? He just to make some space, just to create the obstacles for his stealing in the form of the household members, he would just divert all their attention towards the calf. So he is an expert thief. He has so many ideas how to steal. And he steals and he sits there and eats. Not even showing any sign or posturing to run away. He would just happily sit there and we stand there watching at him. What is that? What was the previous line? They were Krosha Sanjata Hasaha. Hasa means Krishna smiles. Krishna's smile is so intoxicating that it can make people just get stunned. Although they want to act in a certain way, Krishna's smile will make them completely inactive, right? Static. They are very dynamic, but they become static looking at Krishna's smile. He has a mystic smile on his beautiful face and lips that people wouldn't act the way they want to act or they're supposed to act. Now Yashodamata understood. Oh, now I got your point. Krishna is releasing the calves. You are running behind the calves, and Krishna is running into the homes and stealing your milk and butter and yogurt and eating it. What does it mean? He is hungry. He is hungry. Out of hunger, when he comes to your home, why don't you give him some milk? Before he takes it by himself, you should give him, you should be kind enough to a very young, small boy, small child. So why don't you just allow him to eat till his belly is full? Why should you stop him? Why should you be complaining against me? When a child comes to your home, is it not your responsibility to feed him before he takes it by himself? Then the gopis smiled and said that Yashodamata, Krishna's belly is always full. Because you are always feeding him, where is some space in his belly? It's not a question of his hunger. Sometimes when he comes to our homes, we give him some yogurt, we give him some milk also, we give him butter also, but he wouldn't take it. He has a taste for stealing. He wants only stolen milk. He wants only stolen yogurt. When we offer him, he wouldn't take, he wouldn't drink it. Then Yashoda Mata said, okay, fine, let him take. What's the problem? Whether he steals or whether you offer him directly, all he's taking is little milk only from your storehouse. What will you lose, right? Then the gopis say that milk that he's stealing is something special. Swadva means very tasty milk. So the gopis keep some special milk, special yogurt aside for their husbands and for their children. So we have kept aside some milk, we have saved it separately, and Krishna would specifically search for that and eats that milk only, right? So then Yashoda Mata becomes little impressed with Krishna's intelligence, but she defends Krishna. She says, no, how can a small child differentiate between what is tasty milk and what is not so tasty milk? How can he identify what you have set aside for your husbands? He's an untaught boy, innocent child, inexperienced, hardly 2 3 years old boy. You are unnecessarily complaining on him. I don't think he's so clever, and I don't think you are so innocent. You are so clever. You are so clever, and he's an innocent boy. How can you say that he is smartly drinking milk like this? Now the gopis say that, oh, innocent boy, Yashoda Mata, you are innocent. Kalpitaihi steya yogaihi. You don't understand how clever your child is. Kalpitaihi means he invents. Kalpana means imagination, invention, right? Or to create something. He's very creative. He's very innovative. And he is extremely creative and clever in inventing so many ways of stealing. Steya yogaihi. Steya means stealing. Yoga. You know karma yoga. You know gnana yoga. You know dhyana yoga. You know bhakti yoga. But here the 10th canto of Bhagavatam introduces us to another yoga called Steya yoga. So bhakti yoga means the yoga of devotion. Karma yoga means the yoga of work, trying to reach the Lord by performing your prescribed duties. Dhyana yoga means trying to reach the Lord through meditation. Gnana yoga means to connect with the Lord through your knowledge. And here is Steya yoga, means trying to steal. Krishna is inventing so many ways of stealing. Kalpitaihi steya yogaihi. Yashoda Mata, you are innocently considering your boy as innocent, but your boy is uncannily intelligent. He has invented so many innovative methods of stealing. And these methods of stealing are unheard of, unseen also. He's so skillful in releasing our calves, although we are directly watching. He just mystifies us with his smile. Although we are directly watching, he wouldn't get scared only. He will very courageously, very boldly, very confidently would come into our homes and then he would steal. And what are those Steya Yogaihi? In the next shloka, they will describe. Maybe in another class, we can discuss all that. But maybe let me give you a brief idea. You must be knowing also. Krishna would make a pyramid of boys, his own friends. So he would make his friends bend down, and on their backs, he will just get up. He will just climb and he will steal butter when the butter is hanging from the ceiling. And sometimes when the gopis hide their butter pots in a dark room, thinking that this little child will become afraid when everything is dark around. Sometimes even elders will get afraid when it is very dark on the road while they're walking in the night. But Krishna wouldn't become afraid. He and Balram, they would go inside our dark rooms and they would illuminate the entire room with the brilliance, with the shine of their jewels. And they would steal, right? And there are many ways. So when the pots are hanging from the ceiling, Krishna would either make a pyramid of gopas and climb on their backs and steal it, or he can expertly just throw a stone and then pick holes in it, and then all the milk will come like tap water and Krishna will drink it, right? So Krishna has various ways of stealing, right? So your boy is not so innocent, he's very clever. Although he's very young, he's very clever also. And Yashodamata said, okay, fine, enough that you have spoken a lot, that my boy is taking your little milk. Why are you making a big issue out of this one little event, little act that Krishna has done? He has taken your milk, right? That's all. Please understand that's a result of the piety of your ancestors, that Krishna is enjoying butter at your homes. You are miserly people. You are making a big issue out of one cup of milk or one pot of butter or a little yogurt at home. So don't you have enough yogurt at your home? You should just accept it joyfully. Whether he steals and takes it, whether he invents so many methods of stealing and then takes it, all he's taking is only little milk, right? He's not taking your diamonds. He's not taking your property. He's not taking your gold or silver. Taking little milk. Just let him take now. Then the gopis express their next concern. Let's go to the shloka again. Markan bhokshan vibhajati sachennati bhandam bhinati. The gopis say that Yashodamata, we agree with you. If Krishna comes and takes little milk, we will not lose anything. And please understand that we are not misers, by the way. We can spare that little milk also, not an issue. Even if it takes the tastiest milk that he keeps, that we have kept aside for our husbands, we don't mind. Let him take. Whether he steals and takes, invents so many methods of stealing and takes, okay, no problem. Let him take. But our main concern is Markan bhokshan vibhajati sachen. Vibhajati means he divides whatever he has stolen into multiple parts. And what does he do? Markan bhokshan. Marka means a monkey. Bhokshan, he would feed the monkeys. So he is taking the tastiest milk and butter and yogurt from our homes and feeding it to monkeys. To feed monkeys, did we make butter or what? So this is too much on your son's part. Markan bhokshan, if he eats, no problem. If he shares it with his friends, that's also no problem, because their friends are also our children only, right? But he gives it to monkeys. So, but another biggest issue is that because he has been feeding the monkeys at many houses, the monkeys are overloaded with so much butter, their bellies are filled, or they are filled up to their neck or nose, they are unable to eat more. So when the monkeys are also not eating butter, then Krishna would become very angry. He would say, your butter is so third class that even monkeys don't eat this butter. So he's basically wasting butter, right? If we are happy if he eats butter, we are happy if he shares it with his friends, but before he eats it, he divides it and gives it to monkeys. And the monkeys, because they have overeaten, their bellies are full, they don't eat, and Krishna would chastise us. Krishna would comment upon us. Krishna will pass very derogatory comments on us. Okay. And on top of it, what else he does? See this. Nati bhandam bhinati. When Krishna doesn't see butter at our homes, he becomes angry, right? When somehow we hide our pots and we don't keep anything at our homes, he would break our pots. Bhandam bhinati. One thing is he distributes to monkeys. He wastes butter. Monkeys also wouldn't eat. Then he would even break our pots also out of frustration, right? So the gopis said, so that if one monkey also doesn't eat butter, sache na atti. Even if one monkey says that this butter is extra, says means that shows that I can't eat anymore. Then Krishna also does not eat it. My monkeys are not eating it. How can I eat it? And he would say, without you, what is use of my eating? I will not eat, my dear monkeys. You are my dear friends. Okay. Then in distress, in frustration, in anger, he would simply break our pots for no reason, right? And sometimes, since he has eaten already, he does not eat stolen food. Still he would break pots and he will blame us. So if he steals and eats, okay, no problem. Our food items are being utilized in a appropriate manner. Fine. Although he's inappropriate in stealing, at least he's using what he has stolen. But sometimes he doesn't steal, he will just break pots out of frustration. Yashodamata said that if you know all this, why don't you just hide your pots? Okay, by not doing this act of hiding your pots or keeping your things properly, just making your butter or yogurt lie here and there, carelessly, you are making my playful child sorry, agitated, right? You see, sometimes, although the thought is not there in the mind of a person, thought of stealing or thought of doing some mischief is not there in the mind of a person, still he may be provoked, he may be agitated, he may be inspired by seeing something. Oh, well, let me just steal, right? So basically, you are tempting my child to steal by keeping all your milk products open, right? Just hide them nicely, right? Because Yashodamata knows, although the gopis are innocently thinking that, oh, Krishna doesn't steal at his own home, Krishna, even as a toddler, he would steal at Yashodamata's home. Krishna, as a very, very small child, he would just steal butter from Yashodamata's home when she's not around. And Yashodamata sometimes immediately comes behind Krishna and then notices him, catches him red-handed. Then Krishna says, oh, Yashodamata, you have kept these bangles and bracelets. So my hand is being burnt. These rings are there. My hand is being burnt. Just to get some cooling effect, I have kept my hand in butter pot. That's what he answers. And another time, Krishna would just steal butter. And when he turns back, he finds another boy who exactly looks like him in the jeweled pillar of Nanda Bhavan. And who is that boy? Krishna only, Krishna's reflection. But Krishna doesn't understand. He's very small, right? So he doesn't understand that this is my own reflection. He thinks that another boy also is stealing like him, right? And he starts negotiating with him. Oh, my dear friend, please don't tell mother. I will also give you a share. He will just offer. And when he offers this butter to that reflection boy, and the reflection boy also seems to be offering butter to Krishna. Oh, I am bribing you and you are bribing me also, right? So he's just, as he's negotiating with that boy, Yashodamata suddenly comes and says, Krishna, what are you doing? Then Krishna says, oh, my dear mother, this boy is a big thief. He has stolen butter. And I told him, it's not proper. Whenever you need butter, you should ask mother and take it. You should not steal. You should not independently go and put your hand in butter pots. Right? I told him, but he got into an argument with me. Right? So he's bribing me. So Yashodamata saw all this and then understood the clever nature of his boy. And she's impressed. She smiles. So Krishna is not punishable. Okay? You cannot punish Krishna. He's a small child. So now Yashodamata recollects all these incidents in her heart, but also relishing the beautiful pastimes narrated by the gopis also. So Krishna would break pots also sometimes. The Amodar Leela, Krishna broke pot. Yashoda became so angry. So the gopis are saying that that we try to hide pots. Yashodamata, as you said, that as you asked us, why don't you hide your pots? We tried also. You know what he does? Now next line. Dravyalabhe sagraha kupito yatyupakrishyato kan. When we hide our pots, dravya alabhe, he wouldn't get the dravya. Dravya means the material that he wants. What is that material? Milk and yogurt and curd only, and butter only. So dravya alabhe, when he doesn't get what he wants at our homes, what will happen? Sagraha kupito. He becomes kupito, very angry on all the members of the home. Sagraha. Yati upakrishya tokan. Out of his anger, you know what he does? Tokan, he would go to our small babies. By the time Krishna is a little grown-up child who is able to walk, at least maybe 3-year-old boy, but he's able to walk. But there are some very young kids, infant babies, who are unable to walk. They are there in their cradles or their beds, and Krishna would go to them. Upakrishya tokan, he would go and pinch that small children, small babies, and make them cry. And children, whoever is attending this class, don't imitate Krishna, by the way. Don't steal butter or don't steal anything from anyone's home, and don't pinch small babies. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He can do all that, but you should not do all that. So then the gopis are saying that we try to hide our pots, but if Krishna doesn't find the eatables in our pots, he becomes angry and he becomes furious. Sometimes what he says that, gopis, tomorrow I will come to your home. Stay there. I will come tomorrow morning with flaming coal in my hand. If you don't give me yogurt, if you don't make the butter and milk available at your home, I will throw this burning coal on your homes and I will burn your house and your children and your elders, everybody. So like that, he gives us some warning. He threatens us, right? So, and he would pinch babies. Yati upakrishyatokan. He would irritate the babies. He would pinch them. He would scratch them like this. And then he would run away. And the kids are crying. So you may misunderstand Krishna. Why Krishna is doing all this? Why would he pinch the babies and scratch the babies? Not, this is not cruelty, by the way. This is naughtiness. Just like small children are very naughty sometimes, when they don't get what they want, they can go into any extent of breaking some things or pinching some boy and then beating somebody. So these small, these innocent activities are done by any small child. 2.5, 3-year-old boys can do it, right? So Krishna is just imitating the behavior of a human child and giving so much happiness to everyone. So because Krishna's activities are resembling any normal human child, that does not mean we minimize his position. He's the Supreme Lord. He may pinch babies. That does not mean Krishna is just harming them in any way. That's a part of his pastime, right? And he would not pinch them in such a way that they are so troubled. They will just cry, and that will disturb the gopis and gopas. That's all. He will just go, right? So otherwise, Krishna does not have an intention to harm anyone, especially the Vrajavasis. All these are supposed to be understood as Krishna's childhood pastimes, which are meant to give happiness to all his devotees and the gopis of Vrindavan. And there is no malice, there is no hatred, there is no negativity in the mind or in the activities of Krishna. So if we consider Krishna's divine pastimes as malicious, then we have actually misunderstood Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, reading the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam is very important for us to actually understand Krishna's childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, in the 10th canto. That's why our Satyavrata Muni, in his Damodar Ashtakam, he says that Namamishwaram Satchidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam. Namami Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam. So, although Krishna's Damodar Leela is being described in Damodar Ashtakam, and he's being glorified like that as someone who steals butter, Rudantam Muhurnetra Igvam Rijantam. He is crying and rubbing his eyes to wipe his tears, and he's running away as Mother Yashoda is chasing him and trying to punish him. So although that sweet pastime of Krishna is being described by Satyavrata Muni in Damodar Ashtakam, he begins the song by saying Namami Ishwaram. He is not an ordinary person. He may be doing some activities that are resembling the activities of normal human children, but he's Ishvara, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, right? So then why is he stealing? If he's the Supreme Lord, Bhoktaram Yignatapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Yatvamam Shanti Mrichati. He said, I am the Bhokta, I am the enjoyer of everything in this world. I am Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the supreme proprietor of all the planets in this world. Although Krishna is saying all this, why is he stealing butter? He is not stealing diamonds or gold or silver, any expensive items. He is only stealing butter. Basically, this butter that Krishna is stealing is pure white, very soft, and that resembles the pure hearts of the gopis, right? So by stealing butter from gopis' houses, Krishna is stealing the hearts of the gopis. Krishna is called Hari. Out of so many names that the Supreme Lord has, one name is Hari. Hari means one who steals. What does Krishna steal? Krishna steals butter. Krishna steals yogurt. Krishna steals milk. Krishna steals the hearts of all the gopis. And Krishna steals the hearts of all of us, all those devotees who are hearing Krishna stealing pastimes. By hearing Krishna stealing pastimes, we are exposing our hearts so that Krishna can come and steal our hearts also. And one more thing Krishna is stealing. What is that? The miseries. Krishna steals the miseries of his devotees. There are so many miseries in this material world. While living in this material world, an average sadhaka or any conditioned soul undergoes tremendous amount of tribulations in this world. When we take shelter of Krishna, when we hear Harikatha, when we hear Krishna's butter-stealing pastimes, our miseries are stolen. Because our mind gets absorbed in the divine pastimes of Krishna, and we will not think so much about the material miseries here. Thus, Krishna steals our miseries also. That's why he is called Hari. So now Krishna is stealing and pinching babies. Krishna is breaking pots. Krishna is distributing butter to the monkeys. Krishna is threatening and warning the gopis. None of them are malicious activities. They are miraculous activities. They are their divine activities. So the gopis in this way were complaining to Mother Yashoda. So there is no end to the complaints of the gopis. And as we know, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this sloka comes. Nigama kalpatarorgalitam phalam sukamukhadamrtadrava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So Krishna's pastimes are extremely sweet. But when Sukadeva Goswami described those pastimes, they appeared much sweeter. So the example given in this shloka is that a ripened mango is definitely very tasty and sweet. But when a parrot bites that mango, the mango's flavor increases. Similarly, Krishna's pastimes are sweet, but when Sukadeva Goswami narrated those pastimes, the flavor of those pastimes increased. Similarly, Krishna's butter-stealing pastimes are very sweet, very attractive. But when the gopis of Vrindavan narrated those pastimes with so much love and affection for Krishna, these pastimes appeared much sweeter. And who experienced that sweetness? Yashoda Mata. So gopis definitely were relishing and enjoying Krishna's stealing pastimes because they witnessed them firsthand. But Yashoda Mata relished those stealing pastimes even more because she heard the narration of all these pastimes from the gopis. So the sweet stealing pastimes of Krishna are mixed with the sweet love of the gopis, and this combined effect went into the ears of Yashoda Mata, and she relished all these butter stealing pastimes of Krishna even more than the gopis who witnessed them firsthand. So the main lesson here is we should always absorb our minds in the pastimes of Krishna, in the names of Krishna, in the qualities of Krishna, and in the form of Krishna. When we become absorbed in Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, especially through Sravanam, by hearing, we develop our love for Krishna. Yasyam Vaishruya Vadayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti-rutpadyate Pumsaha Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from sincere devotees, here Krishna's pastimes are being narrated by the gopis of Vrindavan, and who is hearing them? Yashoda Mata is hearing them, right? Thus they were relishing. Yashoda Mata and all the gopis were relishing Krishna's pastimes. Similarly, when we relish Krishna's pastimes by narrating or by hearing from sincere devotees, we come closer to Krishna. Individually and collectively, we increase our love for Krishna. And Shoka Moha Bhayapaha, our fears and lamentation and all of unwanted things in our hearts are completely destroyed by hearing Harikatha in the association of devotees. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena svanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shabalam krishnaha salilasya yathasharat. Right? So when we allow the sound vibration of Krishna's pastimes enter our ear holes, through ear holes they will enter our heart, and whatever lust, envy, pride, greed is there in our hearts are completely removed by Krishna's sound vibration. Right? So all the gopis of Vrindavan are the topmost devotees of Krishna. Gopis are of two categories. One category is Vatsalya gopis, who love Krishna as mothers. Another category is Madhurya gopis, who consider Krishna as their lover, right? In a conjugal mood, amorous mood, right? So now whether they are Vatsalya gopis or Madhurya gopis, their activity is to always discuss Krishna's pastimes and absorb their minds and hearts and words in Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. That's the most effective way of becoming Krishna conscious. 11th canto Bhagavatam says, Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavadyashaha mithoratihi mitha tushtir nivrittir mitha atmanaha. Paraspara anukathanam. When devotees come together and discuss Harikatha, the way the gopis are doing, even an average casual conversation in Vrindavan is Krishna Katha. Even gossip in Vrindavan is Harikatha, Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastimes. It could be Krishna's butter stealing pastimes. It could be Krishna's demon killing pastimes. It could be Krishna's cow heading pastimes or Krishna's flute playing pastimes. Whatever it may be, the subject matter of the discussion or meditation of all the Vrajavasis is Krishna Katha. Glories of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, qualities of Krishna. So thus they are constantly Krishna conscious. So following their footsteps, we should also try to be Krishna conscious. Now they are discussing Krishna's butter stealing pastimes. Another time, they will discuss about Krishna's mountain lifting pastime, Govardhan lifting pastime. Another time, they may discuss how Krishna killed this Arishtasura demon, or Aghasura demon, or Bakasura demon. So like that, constant Harikatha is going on. You discuss about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Everywhere, every time. So, Paraspara Anukathanam Pavanam Bhagavadyashaha. Because it is Bhagavadyashaha, the glories of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, Pavanam, we become purified. Pavanam means to become purified. Pavanam Bhagavadyashaha. Mitho Ratihi. By discussing about Krishna's pastimes, our Rati, our attraction towards Krishna will increase. Mitha Tushtir. We will become satisfied at heart. The real satisfaction of heart is derived not from gold, not from dollars, not from pounds, not from rupees, not from positions, not from social media followers, not from expensive clothes or ornaments, not from position as the king of heavens. So none of these material positions or temporary privileges or positions will give any satisfaction to the soul. A pure soul derives ultimate satisfaction by relishing the pastimes of Krishna, glories of Krishna. In comparison to that relish of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, any amount of happiness in this material world, even Brahmananda and Svargananda, are of no use. So we should learn to relish Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. We should learn to derive satisfaction, tushti, or satisfaction in discussing Krishna's pastimes and not in some mundane achievements, and not in the external positions or privileges or name, fame, prestige for one's own self. Just relish Krishna's name, fame. Don't derive, don't aspire for name, fame for oneself. So when we are discussing Harikatha, our main motive or mood should be to come one step closer to Krishna, to purify our consciousness from all impurities by sprinkling the purest pastimes of Krishna on our impure heart, right? By drenching the pure pastimes of Krishna and by immersing, by drenching our hearts in the pure pastimes of Krishna, we can purify the hearts from all kinds of contaminations, right? So Yashodamata is trying to teach Krishna good conduct because she's absorbed in motherly love, Vatsalya Rasa. Oh, so many gopis are coming and complaining against my son. What will they think? He's the son of the king of Rajam Bhumi, right? He's Vrajaraja Sutta and he's a prince of Vrindavan. When the prince is going to the common citizens' homes and stealing butter and yogurt, my God, what a shame. Yashodamata is concerned in a different way, right? Of course, Yashodamata and all the gopi friends of her is, they never consider that Yashoda's son is someone else's son. They consider Yashodamata's son also their own child. They take care of Krishna also. So everybody loves Krishna more than themselves, more than anyone else in Vrindavan. Thus, the Vatsalya gopis, all of them, Yashoda Mata and other Vatsalya gopis, they share the equal or more or less equal rights on Krishna, either to chastise him or love him or feed him. So along with right comes responsibility. So they have almost similar amount of love towards Krishna like Mother Yashoda had. And to fulfill all their desires, Krishna personally appeared in the form of their sons and accepted Vatsalya affection from all these motherly gopis of Vrindavan. They are not ordinary persons, right? They are not materialistic people. So they have complete selflessness, and Yashodamata is not getting offended. Although apparently she is getting consent so that she would personally churn butter for Krishna, she is not offended by all the complaints of the gopis, right? It's not like a social insult in social circles. No, nothing like that. Entire Vrindavan is like one family. Vrindavan is the place where the hearts of people are so connected to each other. They are so bound together in pure love, in nourishing, relishable relationships with absolutely no tinge of selfishness or envy or pride or greed or artificial dominion and hierarchies, this and that. So their hearts are united with each other. Have you ever heard that Vrajavasis were quarreling? Yes, there were some loving quarrels between Krishna and the gopis and Gopas and Krishna. There is wrestling. All this is a display of love, but there is no bitter quarrels or enmity. So Vrindavan is a place where there is absolutely no place for enmity, right? Yatra naisarga durvairaha sahasan mrigadayah mitrani vajita vasa dhritarshanaadikam. In Vrindavan, nobody suffers out of hunger or thirst. And there is no enmity between animals and human beings also. They lie there in transcendental friendship, divine friendship. A tiger and a cow can stay together, then they coexist without causing harm to each other. That's Vrindavan. So, taking the example of following the footsteps of Vrajavasis, let us also cultivate this habit of discussing Krishna Katha in our devotee circles. Genuinely relishing Krishna Katha, not to exhibit one's scholarship, but to nourish our hearts with Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela, right? The genuine desire to purify one's hearts and nourish one's hearts with Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela is the main characteristic of a devotee of Krishna, right? Let's follow the footsteps of the Vrajavasis, gopis of Vrindavan, and discuss Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastimes. And secondly, let's love each other. Let's not envy each other. Vrindavan is a place where there is transcendental friendship amongst all the residents of Vrindavan, like one family. All the Vrajavasis live there together like one family. Once Prabhavati Mata comes to Yashoda Mata and says that, Yashoda Mata, the yogurt, the butter, or whatever property I have, I consider that it is your property also. And whatever milk products that you have, whatever you have in your home, you consider that they belong to me also. Thus, when Krishna eats in my home or your home, there is absolutely no difference, right? So, but I am concerned that Krishna is speaking some bad words and foul language and all that. You should discipline yourself. She says all that out of responsibility towards the child. But you see the divine friendship of all the Vrajavasis. So, all the Vrajavasis came under Govardhan, under one shelter when Krishna lifted Govardhan, isn't it? So, what does that mean? They are all like one family. They are like one family in which everybody loves this one member of that family, Krishna, more than their own lives. Whenever there is some danger in Vrindavan, all the Vrajavasis become concerned about Krishna more than becoming worried about their own sons and their own children, their own selves, right? So that kind of camaraderie, friendship, loving relationships are very beautifully exhibited in Vrindavan land. And if we can imbibe that quality of loving devotees based on our love for Krishna and keeping Krishna in the center of our lives, then we can create Vrindavan atmosphere even in this material world, even in our devotee communities. All that we need to do is regularly, constantly discuss Krishna Katha. and love each other genuinely, and be supportive, be empathetic, be sympathetic, and love each other with Krishna in the center, right? That loving relationships and constant Harikatha. So these are the two main characteristics of Vrindavan. So let's conclude here by reciting the shloka once again. Vatsan munchan kvachid samaye krosha sanjataha saha steyam svadyatyathidhadipaya kalpitaihi steya yogaihi markan bhokshan vibhajati sachennati bhandam bhinatti द्रव्यालाभे सहृग सगृह कुपितो यात्युपकृष्यतोकान्। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।